Okay, live here, direct effect. This is off the cuff. This is coming off post UFC 254. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje. Khabib's amazing win today. It was an amazing performance, a very heartfelt finish. With what he's been going through, with the loss of his dad. Gaethje was very gracious in defeat, as always. You gotta love Gaethje for that. That's the heart of a real champion right there. Definitely love Gaethje. And this is just the fight of breakdown. First one here, first one in front of the camera. Collins coming to you live in direct effect. But Khabib's performance was a master performance very similar to Henry Cejudo's performance against Marlon Moraes when they fought for the 135-pound title. I thought Khabib looked amazing. Khabib looked like a full. I think it was maybe the first time, not even the first time, but this is the best Khabib has looked in a MMA fight, in a UFC fight during his championship reign. This is the absolute best Khabib has looked. He looked like a full-fledged fighter. As always, Khabib always had the pressure. He put pressure on his opponents just because of his wrestling, the fear of his wrestling. But we always thought, everybody thought, Gaethje would be able to nullify that because of how powerful, how crisp his strike has been looking, and how good Gaethje is as a natural wrestler. But wow, just a masterclass performance by Khabib. The fact that he was still enabled to, enable his game plan while shutting down his opponents, to fully, press his will and push his pace and put that on Gaethje. I started noticing when Gaethje was really ducking his head too much and trying to throw the overhand hooks. He was even touching Khabib, but Khabib is such a tough guy. He's so durable that he would take it and just walk right through and be back in his face within 2 seconds. And just that pace, having Gaethje always on the back foot, always moving. And Gaethje has amazing movement. He showed that amazing movement against Tony Ferguson. That really stifled his game. But Khabib just kind of kept the pressure on, and he didn't chase him. He just kept cutting him off everywhere he would go, and just stay in front of him. And every time he was in front, Gaethje would duck his head and try to throw his hooks and roll out. Khabib would take it, or he would defend and stay right in front of it. And that pressure, I think you saw it after the first round. It crumbled, I think, Gaethje. He got up, he was pretty winded. And I remember him against the Tony Ferguson fight. After, I think it was the end of the second round where Gaethje got dropped. I thought, in actuality, I had, going into the fight, I had Tony Ferguson winning. Just because everybody knows Tony Ferguson's his pace, he's crazy. He throws all different kinds of stuff at you, and has you thinking about a lot of stuff. But after, he dropped him, Tony dropped him at the end of the second round, Gaethje was actually able to settle down and, implement his boxing and his footwork, and it really threw Tony Ferguson off. I thought that would happen. This fight was that, after the first round, Gaethje would get his bearings. He would settle down, hold his ground. You thought he would hold his ground and really implement his, be calm and implement his will. But Khabib just did not allow him to do that. And that was highly impressive. I thought Gaethje did really well with his leg kicks. But even still, Khabib was just, I thought the leg kicks, I think, definitely would have played a toll if maybe Gaethje would have doubled up on him and threw them a lot more. But Khabib just didn't give him any room to breathe. That pace was incredible. He didn't give him any room to breathe, and he was striking. His striking looked really good. It looked crisp. Once Gaethje started gassing, he really started implementing his striking. And then it was from, the one leg kick that Khabib took. It was actually a really good leg kick that Gaethje threw. And Gaethje throws amazing leg kicks. Probably some of the hardest calf kicks in the game. But it was off that calf kick, a hard calf kick, where Khabib was able to get that takedown. And really, the way he was able to get that takedown, take him down, get the back, and move it into mount. That entire transition from the takedown to the scramble to the back take to the mount to a triangle was one of the most impressive setups I've seen in in grappling in UFC and MMA, as of late. And Khabib is one who's not really known for triangles. So this showed, I guess, he was really, whether he always had that, submission in his arsenal, or whether that's something he's been working with his submission coaches, as of late. But just that entire, transition, this was truly a masterful performance by Khabib. It's really sad to see him go, but the man, I think he's 29-0, 30-0 now. He's done it all. He's got nothing else to prove. So I think he definitely went out. Gaethje went out on his shield, but Khabib definitely went out at the top of his game. I think he said, I remember watching MMA World. Shout out MMA World. But I could have swore he said in an interview that he had a surprise, like after this fight, that there would be a next opponent. I thought he was going to announce possibly a GSP opponent, but he announced his retirement. I think they said his mother didn't want him to fight anymore without his father. So I respect that decision. I thank Khabib for everything that he's done in the game. I really think he elevated the game for as far as grappling wise, and a lot of people, there's always those fighters who people really have to train to beat. I think Ronda Rousey was one of those people who really elevated the game of women's mixed martial arts when it first came about. John Jones, a lot of people had to come up to his level to compete with him. Anderson Silva, all the greats, GSP. And as always, generation after generation, fighters continue to get better and better and better, to beat that top guy. And I think Khabib is that top guy of our generation that a lot of people are going to take take notes from, studies from, and, really learn from. There's so much to learn from Khabib. And I think moving on into this next chapter in his life, I really hope that, I've always hoped that great fighters like this, who are this dominant, this good at their craft, when they leave the game, I always hope that they switch to coaching and teach, the lessons that they know, their knowledge of the game, to up-and-coming fighters. And I think Khabib is actually going to follow in his father's footsteps and become that coach to, the people of his country, his town, and be, that symbol, of I guess greatness, that symbol of somebody who really made it to the top for his people, and I think that's an amazing thing. I think he's got a great team of young, hungry fighters coming up behind him that he coaches. So he's already doing it, he's in the right place, and he's done everything he needs to do with, the MMA, I guess, in the UFC, I'm not saying this is the last time we'll ever see him. There's, a good enough fight, you never know. I may pull somebody great like that out, Khabib was that guy to almost pull GSP out of his retirement to fight him. So maybe there could be a new up-and-coming fighter, who may come up and be able to pull Khabib out of retirement to see if, he wants to fight or do anything again. Time will tell. This is fresh after his W. Was a great card, great fight, and sky's the limit. The lightweight division is open now. What's happening next? Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor are fighting. I think possibly January be the return of Conor after such a very long layoff. Maybe it'll be like an 11-month layoff when he'll finally return. Dustin Poirier is always top 5. He's always in the conversation. Tony Ferguson is still there, even after his loss to Gaethje. Tony Ferguson, no doubt, is still a top 5 contender in the UFC. So I'm looking to see who his next opponent is going to be. Who else here? Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's always looked great in his last fight. Even against Poirier, that was an absolute war, beautiful fight. And now we have the presence of Michael Chandler, coming fresh off of Bellator. So I'm looking forward to see what he's doing. And I know, a lot of these lightweight guys, what's the saying? How's it go? I guess when the champ is gone, the wolves will come out. The wolves are gonna come out now that Khabib is gone. And I think just it's a wide door open, and I just see the horses racing, everybody, the dogs racing just to get in that door to see who the next champion is going to be. So it's a very exciting time in the lightweight division. I'm looking forward to see where things go, But yeah, this is my first fight breakdown. I'm hoping to do a lot more, to talk with you guys, see where things go. And yeah, we'll see where things go. Signing off.